the studios of station WDANE comes America's favorite educational emergency. Sponsored by Caldwell Tailoring, when ordinary trousers cannot support extraordinary arguments. Before Dane Caldwell became Houston's finest criminal attorney, he was the University of Texas's most expensive student. Not because of tuition, because of repairs. Dane attended law school for 3 days. On the first day, he parked in the dean's office. On the second, every sorority moved its weekly meeting in the hallway outside his room. On the third, the dean discovered Dane had never enrolled. Dane said, "Then my attendance record is flawless." The dean tried throwing him out. He opened the wrong door and threw himself accounting. Nobody noticed the transfer. Law degree for public safety, signed and sealed at 3:30. Not for grades or education, just to save the university. Kappa's knew his room number, Theta's knew his name, Pi Phys knew his measurements, Morty took the blame. Law degree for public safety. Dean said, "Houston, take him free." Dane said it isn't bragging when the diploma agrees. The professor asked, "What is evidence?" Dane said, "Anything you cannot hide." "What is reasonable doubt?" The look on opposing counsel's side. "What is a hostile witness?" Any witness charging by the hour. "What is legal standing?" Dane pointed at Morty under the shower. The class applauded, the professor objected. The janitor sustained it, though nobody expected. The dean entered shouting, slipped across the wax, landed in the jury box and accidentally raised the tax. Dane said, "Dean, your argument needs traction." The dean said, "You're expelled." Dane said, "Is that tuition action?" Law degree for public safety, print it quickly, let him be. Every hour Dane stays enrolled, create another emergency. The dean assembled the faculty assembled an exit. Dane assembled the dean's secretary, 2 Kappas, 1 Theta, and a Pi Phi who claimed she had only stopped by for directions. Dane gave her directions. They led to his room. The registrar found no grades beneath Dane's name. Dane said, "That proves I never lost the game." The dean said, "You have no credits." Dane said, "Neither does this school. You charged me for a semester and misplaced every rule." The president studied Dane, then studied the repairs, the collapse debate stage, and the women on the stairs. He said, "Award the degree, send Houston, I regret." Dane said, "Make it framed, I haven't met Houston yet." The dean handed it over, wearing goggles and a brace. "This degree is not earned, it's a restraining device." Dane said, "Then add honors, I've been restrained twice." Law degree for public safety, signed and sealed at 3:30. Not for grades or education, just to save the university. Kappa's waved from windows, Vetus chased his bike. Pi Phys rented helicopters because the traffic light was tight. Oh! Law degree for public safety, Houston, guard your treasury. Dane said it isn't bragging when the whole state agrees. Dane rode into Houston with a diploma, enough women following him to qualify as a parade. I followed in a rented truck carrying his boots. At the first red light, Lucky climbed into the truck. He had bank money, a crowbar, and his own handcuffs. He said, "Take me to prison." I took him to Dane. That was the crueler choice.